Learn with Peppa Pig Level 2. Fun at the Pool. It is summer. We can cool down in the pool. They go down the ladder.
Are you getting in? Yes.
Peppa Pig kicks her legs.
You are too quick. Wait for me.
Richard Rabbit kicks his legs hard. That's too much kicking. A can sinks to the bottom of the pool. Daddy Pig gets it back. Good job, Daddy Pig. Richard soaks Daddy Pig with the can. Is it raining? The end. Learn with Peppa Pig, Gnomes at Home. Grandpa Pig has taught Peppa Pig and George how to grow delicious carrots. I think you have a green thumb, Peppa, says Grandpa Pig. It's an expression that means you have a knack for gardening. Just then, Mr. Bull delivers a large package. They take a break from gardening to open it. Grandpa Pig pulls out a beautiful wishing well. Granny Pig smiles.
That's a strange mystery present. I wonder who sent it.
Peppa gasps.
Perhaps it's sent by a magician. Wish, wish.
Granny Pig gives Peppa and George a coin each.
Wow.
Peppa is more impatient than George. Her coin soars through the air and lands in the well as she makes her wish. An hour later, Mr. Bull returns with a whole truck full of garden gnomes. They pour out all over the garden. It's a gnome explosion. Hey, Mr. Bull, stop! We didn't order any garden gnomes, roars Grandpa Pig. Mr. Bull checks a page on his clipboard. I'm sorry, Grandpa Pig, but I have instructions to deliver 80 garden gnomes. It says so right here. I'm just obeying orders. Peppa's thrilled.
I have a knack for making wishes too.
We don't have storage space for 80 gnomes, grumbles Grandpa Pig. Where will they all go? Peppa can tell from Grandpa Pig's reaction that he is not happy.
There is another option, Grandpa. I wished for them, so I should store them, she says.
Grandpa Pig's mood changes straight away. That's a great solution, Peppa. Let's move them to your house now.
I'm going to keep this cheerful little one, says Granny Pig. He can just sit here and enjoy our garden.
Once all the gnomes and the mystery wishing well are on board, they set off. There are gnomes wedged into every section of Grandpa Pig's car. Grandpa Pig shouts, "Knock, knock, gnome delivery!" Mummy and Daddy Pig look at Grandpa Pig in confusion. Can someone give us an explanation for this gnome invasion? Asks Daddy Pig. But Peppa and George are too busy to stop and explain. They position gnomes all over the garden, Then Peppa and George invite their parents on a tour of their Gnomes at Home display. Mummy and Daddy Pig roar with laughter. They think the display shows great imagination. Daddy Pig even offers to make a sign so that their neighbours know to visit the gnomes. At least this mystery has a happy conclusion. Before bedtime, George gets out his precious gold coin. He was going to keep it for a special occasion, but he has changed his mind. Peppa wants to know what George wished for. Did you wish for a magic potion? A chest full of treasure? A fridge full of cake? Dinosaur? The end. Peppa Pig, Daddy Pig's office. Today, as a special treat, Peppa and George are visiting Daddy Pig's office. Daddy, what do you do at your office all day? Asks Peppa. Lots of fun things, replies Daddy Pig. We're here, he tells the children as they arrive at a very tall building. Hello, says Daddy Pig into the intercom. Hello, Daddy Pig, says a voice. Can I press the button? Peppa asks. Of course, Peppa, Daddy replies. My office is at the top. We have to go up in the lift, Daddy Pig tells the children. Can I press the button? asks Peppa excitedly. I think it's George's turn. Press the top button, please, George, says Daddy Pig. The lift takes him to the top floor. Hello, everyone, grunts Daddy Pig. Hello, say Mr. Rabbit and Mrs. Cat. They work with Daddy Pig. I have two very special visitors with me today, Peppa and George, says Daddy Pig. Let's begin a tour, suggests Daddy Pig. Mr. Rabbit, can we start at your desk? We certainly can, replies Mr. Rabbit. My job is all about numbers. I take important pieces of paper and stamp them with a rubber stamp, Mr. Rabbit tells him. Wow, gasp the children. Peppa likes stamping paper. On with the tour. Next is Mrs. Cat's desk, exclaims Daddy Pig. Hello, Peppa and George, says Mrs. Cat. Meow. My job is all about drawing shapes on a computer. Can I try? asks Peppa. I think it's George's turn, says Daddy Pig. Yes, it's your turn to work, George, says Peppa. Agrees George. Mrs. Cat helps George to make lots of blue triangles. Now we print the triangles out, Peppa cries. The printer spits out sheets of paper everywhere. George and Peppa think it's hilarious. Do you want to see my desk? Daddy Pig asks. Yes, please, says Peppa. Daddy Pig's job is very important. Do you use stamps or a computer? asks Peppa. No, replies Daddy Pig. I use coloured pens. Peppa and George love colouring pens. George is drawing a dinosaur. George always draws dinosaurs, says Peppa, bored. Dinosaur, says George. Ding, ding! The office clock has just chimed. My goodness, 5 o'clock already, says Daddy Pig. It is time for Peppa, George and Daddy to go home. You've been doing my job very well, snorts Daddy Pig. I like doing Mr. Rabbit's job and I like doing Mrs. Cat's job, but I like doing your job the best, Daddy, says Peppa. Peppa and George have had an excellent day at Daddy Pig's office. The end. Peppa Pig, read it yourself. Going swimming. Peppa, George, Daddy Pig, Mummy Pig, swimming pool, Rebecca Rabbit, watering can, Richard Rabbit. Peppa and George are at the swimming pool with Mummy and Daddy Pig. Peppa loves swimming. Peppa gets in the swimming pool. George is scared. He will not get in. Here, let me help you, says Daddy. Splash! George gets in the pool. He is not scared. Richard and Rebecca Rabbit are at the swimming pool with Mummy Rabbit. We love swimming, says Rebecca. Try kicking in the water, George. It will help you, says Mummy Pig. George and Richard try kicking in the water. Oops! Try not to splash us, says Daddy Pig. Everybody gets splashed. George and Richard love splashing. Look, George and Richard are good at kicking, says Peppa to Rebecca. We are good at swimming, says Rebecca. Peppa and Rebecca go up and down the pool. Look at us, George, says Peppa. Richard has a watering can. Oops! He has let it go. Daddy Pig swims down to get the watering can. Daddy Pig is good at swimming.
Wow!
Here you go, Richard, says Daddy Pig. Oops! Richard is splashing Daddy Pig with the watering can. Try not to splash me, says Daddy. Everybody loves swimming. The end. Read it yourself with Ladybird. Peppa Pig. Fun at the fair. George. Peppa. Daddy Pig. Mummy Pig. Stall.
Wow!
Panda. Slide. Fun fair. Peppa Pig, George, Mummy and Daddy Pig are at the fun fair. Peppa's friends are all at the fun fair too. Peppa and Mummy Pig go to see one of the stalls.
Wow!
I love that big panda,
says Peppa. Mummy Pig wins the big panda for Peppa. Hooray! Says Peppa. George wants to go on the big slide. Daddy Pig goes with him. George loves the slide, but the slide is too big for Daddy Pig. I don't like this slide at all, he says. Peppa and Mummy Pig go to the next stall. Mummy Pig wins another big panda for Peppa. George wants to go on the big wheel next. Daddy Pig goes with him. George loves the big wheel, but the wheel is too big for Daddy Pig. I don't like this big wheel at all, he says. George and Daddy Pig see Peppa and Mummy Pig at one of the stalls. Peppa wants Mummy Pig to win another panda. Mummy Pig wins all the pandas at the fun fair. Hooray for Mummy, says Peppa. Peppa gives all her friends a big panda. Hooray! Say Peppa and her friends. We love fun fairs. The end. First words with Peppa Pig. Level 1. Daddy Pig's Big Jump. Meet Peppa, George, Daddy Pig, Mummy Pig, and Mr. Potato. Learn and big, blue, down, funny, I, jump, my, red, run, yellow. Read television, everyone, costume, boots, muddy puddle. I can see Mr. Potato on the television, says Daddy Pig. Peppa, George, Mummy Pig and Daddy Pig sat down. Mr. Potato is funny, says Peppa. A cup for the best jump in a muddy puddle, said Peppa. You can win that cup, Daddy. You can make a big run and jump. I can win. I can make a big run and jump down in a muddy puddle, says Daddy Pig. Daddy Pig, you can jump and win a cup, everyone said. Hooray! I can. I can make a big run and jump. I can go in my red and blue costume, said Daddy Pig. Wow. The red and blue costume is funny, said Peppa. Peppa, it is the best costume for Daddy Pig's jump, said Mummy Pig. Help, I cannot find my yellow boots for my run and jump, said Daddy Pig. Grandpa Pig had the yellow boots. Look at the funny yellow pots, he said. Daddy Pig had the red and blue costume and the yellow boots. Wow! I can make a big run and jump. I can jump down in the muddy puddle, said Daddy Pig. It will be funny, said Mr. Potato. Daddy Pig got set to run and jump. My red and blue costume is the best, and my yellow boots. My jump will be the best yet, he said. Daddy Pig did a big run. He did a big jump. Daddy Pig came down splash in a muddy puddle. A big jump is funny, said Daddy Pig. You can make a big run and a big jump, said Mummy Pig. And you came down in the muddy puddle, said Peppa. Can the big jump win the cup, said Mummy Pig. Daddy Pig, you can make a big run and a big jump, said Mr. Potato. Here is the cup. Daddy is the best, said Peppa. The end. Peppa Pig Read it yourself, little creatures. George, Peppa Pig, B, Grandpa Pig, Granny Pig, Honey, Shell, Snail.
Wow!
This is Peppa Pig. This is George. George is her little brother. This is Grandpa Pig. And this is Granny Pig. Peppa, George and Grandpa are in the garden.
Hooray!
Grandpa gives Peppa a lettuce.
Wow!
What is that?
Says Peppa.
It's a little snail.
Says Grandpa. George likes a snail.
Where is the snail now, Grandpa?
Says Peppa.
It is in its shell.
Says Grandpa.
Wow!
The shell is the snail's little house.
George wants to be a snail in a little house.
I want to be a snail in a little house too,
Says Peppa.
Grandpa, we will eat your lettuce.
Now Peppa and George's friends are in the garden too. Buzz, buzz, buzz.
What is that?
They say.
Some bees,
Says Grandpa.
Where are they going?
Says Peppa.
They will be going to make some honey.
Says Grandpa.
Wow!
I like honey.
Says Peppa. The friends want to be bees.
Boo, boo, boo,
They say. Granny Pig is in the garden. Granny gives Peppa and her friends some honey to eat.
I like bees,
Says Peppa.
We like bees too.
Say Peppa's friends.
We like to eat the honey they make.
Peppa visits the Australian Botanical Gardens. Peppa had flown to Australia to visit her friend Kylie Kangaroo.
Wow!
Did you tell them we were coming? Asked Mummy Pig. No, I thought you did, said Daddy Pig, ringing the doorbell.
Mr. Pig,
Said Mr. Kangaroo, opening the door.
what an amazing surprise.
You said we should visit if we were passing again, said Daddy Pig.
Yeah, for sure,
said Mr. Kangaroo. Kylie and Mrs. Kangaroo came to say hello. Joey Kangaroo popped his head out of Mrs. Kangaroo's pouch and waved his toy crocodile.
Crocodile,
He said.
dinosaur.
George growled back. We were just going to the botanical gardens, said Mr. Kangaroo. Did you want to join us?
Yes, please,
Cheered Peppa and her family. On the journey, Kylie told Peppa all about the botanical gardens.
There's a rock garden, a desert track, a rainforest dome, a nature reserve, and the best bit,
said Kylie. Why don't you leave the best bit as a surprise, said Mr. Kangaroo.
Okay, Daddy,
said Kylie.
you'll love the gardens, Peppa. They're wild.
Wow!
I can't wait.
Said Peppa. You don't need to, said Mrs. Kangaroo. We're here.
Hooray!
The first area to explore was a rock garden.
These rocks are so big, gasped Peppa. I wish we had them at home. Let's go across the wibbly-wobbly rope bridge, said Kylie. Wibble-wobble, wibble-wobble, sang Peppa and Kylie as they skipped along the bridge. Joey crept towards Daddy Pig with a toy crocodile. Stop! shouted Joey. Ah! cried Daddy Pig. Don't worry, Daddy Pig. There aren't any crocodiles around, said Mr. Kangaroo. In this garden, at least. He looked over at Kylie and winked. At the other end of the wibbly-wobbly rope bridge was the outback desert track.
Wow!
We have to hop along the track and find the gum tree, said Kylie. But how do we know what the gum tree looks like? asked Peppa. It has a shiny silver trunk, explained Kylie. And it's the only tree in the whole track.
Wow!
Ooh, said Peppa. Ready, steady, go, shouted Kylie. Peppa and Kylie ran across the desert track to the gum tree. It's a bit hot here, panted Daddy Pig. Well, we are in the desert, said Mummy Pig. Peppa loved the silver gum tree. It's so shiny, she said. I wish we had one at home. Is this a surprise, Kylie? No, said Kylie. I love the gum tree, but it's not the best bit. The next part of the gardens was inside a big glass dome.
Wow!
This is the rainforest dome, said Kylie. We have lots of rainforests in Australia. Wow! gasped Peppa, gazing up at the tall trees. Why is it called a rainforest? Because it's a forest, said Kylie. And it rains a lot. Ah, said Peppa. But it's not raining now. Let's push the big buttons and see what happens, said Kylie. Kylie and Peppa pushed the buttons and suddenly, pitter-patter, it started to rain. I love rainforest domes, said Peppa. I wish we had one at home. A room with warm rain, said Daddy Pig. We do need one at home. We have one, Daddy Pig, said Mummy Pig. It's called the shower. Is this a surprise, Kylie? asked Peppa. No, said Kylie. Rainforests are brilliant, but this isn't the best bit. Bring, bring. Suddenly, there was a loud bring. Oh dear, what was that? asked Mummy Pig. Don't worry, said Mrs. Kangaroo. That was a bellbird. Their calls can be a little alarming. Oh, I see, Mummy Pig shouted over the ringing. Is this a surprise, Kylie? asked Peppa. No, said Kylie. Bellbirds are great, but this isn't the best bit. Outside the rainforest dome was a nature reserve. This is a nice spot for lunch, said Mr. Kangaroo, whipping out a picnic. Mr. Duck-billed Platypus, gasped Peppa. So nice to see you again. She always finds us when we have a picnic, said Kylie. After the picnic, Peppa and Kylie looked up at the trees. Let's pretend we're possums running along the branches at night, said Kylie, showing Peppa how to run like a possum. Look, whispered Peppa, spotting something in a tree. What's that? It's a koala, Kylie whispered back.
Wow!
She looks sleepy because she sleeps most of the day, and when she's not sleeping, she's munching leaves. She's so cute, said Peppa. Is this the surprise, Kylie? No, said Kylie. Koalas are amazing, but they're not the best bit. Let's pretend to be koalas, said Peppa. Munch, munch, munch. I love koalas, said Peppa. I wish we had them at home. Come on, little ones, said Mrs. Kangaroo. It's time for... Yikes! cried Daddy Pig. A crocodile! It's not a real one, said Kylie. It's a crocodile slide, leading to the surprise. Ooh, said Peppa, climbing to the top of the slide. Then she slid down into a huge muddy puddle.
Wow.
This is the best bit, Peppa, yelled Kylie, landing in the mud. It's the best thing ever, cheered Peppa. After lots of slides down the crocodile into huge muddy puddle, it was time for everyone to go home. Did you like the gardens, Peppa? Asked Kylie. Yes, said Peppa. I loved them, and the best bit was the surprise. Crocodile, growled George. He loved the crocodile. Australian gardens have everything, said Peppa. I wish we could bring them home with us. I don't think they would fit on the plane, Peppa, said Mummy Pig. We'll just have to come back and visit again, won't we? Said Daddy Pig. Yes, cheered Peppa and Kylie. Sure, said Mr. Kangaroo. Drop by any time.
Hooray!
Yeah, of course, said Mrs. Kangaroo. Any time. Peppa loves the Australian Botanical Gardens. Everyone loves the Australian Botanical Gardens. The end. Peppa's Jingle Bells. Today is Peppa's Playgroup Christmas Sing-Along.
Wow.
Peppa, Zoe Zebra and Rebecca Rabbit are hanging baubles on the tree. This one's so shiny, says Zoe. This one's so sparkly, says Rebecca. This one looks magical, gasps Peppa, giving her bauble a shake. Just then, a sound comes from outside. Madame Gazelle, cries Peppa. Did you hear that? It sounds like bells, says Mandy Mouse. Sleigh bells, says Freddy Fox. There it goes again, says Peppa. Listen! Suddenly, there's a knock at the door. Santa! Cry the children. Hello, says Santa. I hear there's a Christmas sing-along today. Yes, says Peppa. We're going to sing Jingle Bells. Oh, ho, ho, ho. That's my favourite song, says Santa. And I may have something to help. Santa pops outside, then returns with a bell.
Wow.
This is from my sleigh. The children get dressed up in their Christmas sing-along outfits, and their parents arrive. The audience are very surprised to see Santa.
Wow.
Soon the children start to sing. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride on a one-horse open sleigh. Hey!
Hooray!
Hooray! Everyone cheers. The Christmas sing-along is a great success. After the sing-along, Santa gives the bell to Peppa. Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! He cries, flying off into the starry night. Thank you, says Peppa as she shakes the bell. Look, Daddy, Santa gave this bell to me, says Peppa. Well, he does like giving presents, said Daddy Pig. The end. Peppa Pig and the Halloween costume. It's almost Halloween. I love trick-or-treating, says Peppa. And jack-o'-lanterns. I love dressing up. George loves Halloween too. Peppa is trying to decide what she wants to be. I know, says Peppa. I will be a pirate. I will sail the high seas and hunt for buried treasure. But I'm going to be a pirate, says Danny Dog. I even have an eye patch.
Wow.
Maybe I'll be a clown instead, says Peppa. I will do a juggling act. I'm dressing up as a clown, said Pedro Pony. I have big clown shoes and a funny red nose. Okay, says Peppa. Maybe I will be a nurse. I will make everyone feel better. But Peppa, says Susie Sheep, I am dressing up as a nurse. Peppa frowns. Well then, I'll be a witch, with a pointy black hat and a broom. Peppa,
Meow.
says Candy Cat, I already have my costume, pointy black hat, broom. I'm a witch. George has an idea for Peppa. Dinosaur! Peppa does not want to dress up as a dinosaur. Peppa thinks she'd like to be a brave space traveller. But that idea is taken. Oh no! She even considers dressing up as a vegetable. Sorry, says Rebecca Rabbit. What can I be for Halloween? Asks Peppa. Maybe a brave cowboy, a happy tiger, a sparkly ballerina. Peppa thinks and thinks. Then she has an idea. I will be a brave, happy, sparkly fairy princess.
Hooray!
Peppa likes her wings, crown and wand, but her costume is not quite perfect. Peppa thinks that maybe there is something missing. That's it! Even fairy princesses need muddy puddle boots. Happy Halloween! The end.
Hi kids, did you have fun watching this video? Then like and subscribe for more.